Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you will fundamentally change how you see yourself, your thoughts, and the reality you've been creating without even knowing it. Right now, at this very moment, there's an invisible force connecting you to everything and everyone around you. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, physically. And the moment you understand how to work with this force, your entire life will begin to reorganize itself. Here's the truth they don't teach you. You are not separate from the universe. You never were. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every intention you hold is broadcasting a signal across an invisible network that scientists call quantum entanglement. And your subconscious mind? It's the antenna, the translator, the bridge between your inner world and the field of infinite potential that surrounds you. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people are walking around with a broken antenna. Their subconscious is programmed with fear, doubt, and limitation. So the signal they're sending out is distorted. And the universe? It responds perfectly to that distortion by giving them more of what they don't want. But once you master the principles I'm about to share with you, once you learn to align your subconscious with the quantum field, you unlock a reservoir of hidden energy so powerful that your reality begins to bend toward your eki desires. Stick with me for the next 20 minutes, and I'll show you exactly how this works. Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about someone you haven't spoken to in years, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, they call you or send you a message? Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the tension between two people without them saying a single word? Have you ever had a dream that later came true in some strange, undeniable way? Most people brush these moments off as coincidence, random luck, weird timing. But what if I told you these aren't coincidences at all? What if these experiences are proof that you're already tapped into something far more powerful than your conscious mind can comprehend? What if you've been unknowingly using quantum entanglement your entire life, but because no one ever taught you how it works, you've been doing it backward? Scientists have known about quantum entanglement for over a century. Albert Einstein himself was so disturbed by it that he called it spooky action at a distance. Because what he discovered was this: two particles, once connected, remain connected forever, no matter how far apart they are. Change the state of one particle, and the other responds instantly, even if it's on the other side of the universe. Now, here's the part that will blow your mind. If the smallest building blocks of matter are connected in this way, and you are made of those same particles, then doesn't it stand to reason that you are entangled with everything around you? That your thoughts, your emotions, your energy are constantly influencing the field? The answer is yes. And the bridge between you and that field is your subconscious mind. Let me break this down for you in the simplest way possible. In 1935, Einstein, along with physicists Boris Podolsky and Nathan Rosen, proposed what we now call the EPR paradox. They wanted to prove that quantum mechanics was incomplete. But what they accidentally proved was something far stranger. They showed that when two particles interact and then separate, they remain connected. Measure the spin of one particle, and you instantly know the spin of the other, no matter how far apart they are. No signal, no delay, instant connection. Think about that for a second. Imagine you have two dice. You put one in a box in New York and the other in a box in Tokyo. You roll the die in New York and it lands on 6. At the exact same moment, without any communication, the die in Tokyo also lands on 6. Every single time. That's quantum entanglement. Now, scientists like Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff have taken this even further. They've proposed that consciousness itself might arise from quantum processes happening inside the brain, specifically in structures called microtubules. If that's true, then your thoughts aren't just chemical reactions. They're quantum events, which means they're entangled with the field around you. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. The HeartMath Institute has conducted studies showing that the human heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond the body. This field changes based on your emotional state. When you feel love, gratitude, or joy, the field becomes coherent and organized. When you feel fear, anger, or stress, it becomes chaotic. But here's the kicker. Other people's nervous systems can detect and respond to your heart field, even if they're not consciously aware of it. You are literally broadcasting your emotional state into the space around you, and others are picking it up. So if your heart is emitting a field, and that field is influenced by your emotions, and your emotions are generated by your subconscious programming, then what you're really doing is using your subconscious to send signals into BH, the quantum field. And the field? It responds. But let me take this even deeper for you. In quantum physics, there's something called the observer effect. It states that the act of observation changes what's being observed. In the famous double-slit experiment, scientists discovered that electrons behave differently when they're being watched versus when they're not. When unobserved, they act like waves of probability. When observed, they collapse into particles with definite positions. What does this mean for you? It means that consciousness, your awareness, your attention, your focus, literally affects physical reality at the quantum level. You're not just passively experiencing reality. You're actively participating in its creation through the very act of observation. Now, most of this is happening unconsciously. Your subconscious is doing the observing, the collapsing, the creating, based on its programming. And if that programming is rooted in fear and limitation, then that's the reality it keeps collapsing into existence. But what if you could become conscious of this process? What if you could direct your observation, your focus, your attention with precision and intention? That's when you step into your power as a conscious creator. Now, let's take this beyond the lab and into your actual life. Because this isn't just theory. This is happening to you right now, whether you're aware of it or not. Think about a time when you walked into a room and immediately felt uncomfortable, even though nothing had been said. You felt something in the air, didn't you? That wasn't your imagination. You were detecting the energetic signature of the people in that space. Or think about a time when you were feeling incredibly happy and confident, and suddenly opportunities started appearing. People were nicer to you. Things seemed to flow. Doors opened that were previously closed. That's not luck. That's resonance. You were broadcasting a higher frequency, and the quantum field responded by matching that frequency with experiences, people, and circumstances that aligned with it. Now, here's the challenge. Your subconscious mind is running programs that were installed when you were a child. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your brain operates primarily in theta brainwave state, which is essentially the hypnotic state. During that time, you absorbed everything around you like a sponge. Your parents' beliefs, your culture's limitations, your environment's fears. And those programs? They're still running in the background. So even if you consciously want success, love, abundance, and freedom, if your subconscious is programmed with beliefs like, I'm not good enough, or money is hard to come by, or love always ends in pain, then that's the signal you're broadcasting into the quantum field. And guess what the field does? It gives you more evidence to support those beliefs. This is why positive thinking alone doesn't work. Because you're trying to override a subconscious program with a conscious thought. It's like trying to change the direction of a river by talking to it. The river doesn't care what you say. It flows according to the landscape beneath it. And your subconscious? That's the landscape. Let me paint an even clearer picture for you. Imagine your conscious mind is like the captain of a ship, standing on the deck, giving orders. Your subconscious is like the crew below deck, actually running the ship. The captain can shout all the orders he wants, but if the crew is following a different set of instructions that were programmed years ago, the ship isn't going where the captain wants it to go. This is the internal conflict most people experience. They want one thing consciously, but their subconscious is programmed to create something else entirely. And the quantum field doesn't judge. It doesn't decide what's good or bad for you. It simply responds to the dominant frequency you're broadcasting. And that frequency is determined by your subconscious programming, not your conscious wishes. This is the hidden energy I'm talking about. It's not some mystical force you need to find outside yourself. It's the energy that's already flowing through you, but it's being directed by outdated programs. Once you reprogram those programs, once you align your subconscious with your conscious desires, that energy flows freely. And when it does, everything changes. Let me give you a real example. Imagine someone who consciously wants to be wealthy. They read all the books. They set goals. They visualize. They affirm. But deep down, buried in their subconscious, there's a belief that was installed when they were 6 years old. Maybe they heard their parents fighting about money. Maybe they were told, "Rich people are greedy," or "We can't afford that." That belief is now a program. And programs run automatically. So even though they're consciously trying to attract wealth, their subconscious is busy sabotaging them. They procrastinate. They make poor financial decisions. They feel guilty when they make money. They attract situations that confirm their hidden belief that wealth is dangerous or undeserving. This is the subconscious override, and it's happening in every area of your life. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a cellular biologist, explains this beautifully. He says that the subconscious mind is 1,000,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. It processes around 40 million bits of information per second, while the conscious mind only processes about 40 bits per second. That means your subconscious is running the show 95% of the time. And if it's running old, limiting programs, then 95% of the time, you're creating a reality based on fear, lack, and limitation. But here's the good news. You can reprogram it. And once you do, once you align your subconscious beliefs with your conscious desires, you unlock what I call your hidden energy. This is the energy that's been trapped beneath layers of conditioning, fear, and doubt. It's the energy that flows freely when you're in alignment, when you're entangled with the field in a coherent way. And when that happens, reality doesn't just change, it transforms. Now, let me explain why this hidden energy is so powerful. Your body generates energy constantly. Every cell in your body is producing ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy currency of life. You have trillions of cells, all generating energy. But most of that energy is being consumed by internal conflict. Think about it. When you're anxious, your body is in fight or flight mode, burning massive amounts of energy. When you're stressed, your immune system is compromised, redirecting energy toward survival. When you're operating from limiting beliefs, your nervous system is constantly on guard, scanning for threats, using up precious resources. All of that energy is being wasted on maintaining patterns that don't serve you. But when you reprogram your subconscious, when you release the fear and the limitation, that energy becomes available. It's like removing a dam from a river. Suddenly, the water that was trapped behind the dam flows freely, powerfully, in the direction it was always meant to go. That's your hidden energy. It's not something you need to generate from scratch. It's something you need to release. So how do you reprogram your subconscious? How do you change the landscape so that the river flows in the direction you want? Let me give you 5 powerful methods that scientists, psychologists, and spiritual teachers have all validated. Method 1. Repetition and affirmation. Your subconscious learns through repetition. Just like it learned limiting beliefs through repeated exposure, it can learn empowering beliefs the same way. But here's the key. You have to bypass the conscious mind's resistance. This is where practices like meditation and hypnosis come in. When you enter a relaxed theta brainwave state, you're essentially reopening the same doorway that was open when you were a child. In that state, your subconscious is receptive to new programming. So if you repeatedly affirm statements like, "I am worthy of abundance," or "Love flows to me effortlessly," while in a meditative state, those statements begin to take root. But don't just say the words. Feel them. Embody them. Your subconscious doesn't respond to empty repetition. It responds to conviction, to emotion, to sensory-rich imagination. Here's a practice you can start today. Every morning, before you get out of bed, spend 5 minutes in a relaxed state, eyes closed, and repeat empowering affirmations with feeling. Imagine what it would feel like if those statements were already true. Let that feeling wash over you. Do this consistently for 30 days, and you'll be amazed at how your external reality begins to shift. Method 2. Visualization with emotion. Dr. Joe Dispenza has shown that the brain doesn't distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. When you visualize something with intense emotion, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if it were actually happening. This means you can create new neural networks, new patterns, new programs by simply imagining your desired reality as if it's already here. But the emotion is crucial, because emotion is the language of the subconscious. It's what gives the visualization power. When you feel gratitude for something that hasn't happened yet, you're sending a signal into the quantum field that says, "This is already mine." And the field responds by collapsing possibilities into probabilities, and probabilities into experiences. Here's how to do this effectively. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes each day. Close your eyes. Visualize your desired outcome in vivid detail. See it, hear it, feel it, taste it, smell it. Engage all your senses. But most importantly, feel the emotions you would feel if it were already real. Joy, relief, excitement, gratitude. Don't just watch the movie in your mind. Step into it. Become the protagonist. Live it in your imagination until your body believes it's real. Because when your body believes it's real, your subconscious accepts it as reality, and the quantum field responds accordingly. Method 3. Energy psychology techniques. Techniques like EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and Psych-K work directly with the body's energy system to release trapped emotions and rewire subconscious beliefs. The idea is simple. Trauma, fear, and limiting beliefs create energetic blockages in the body. These blockages disrupt the flow of your natural energy. By tapping on specific meridian points or using bilateral brain stimulation, you can release these blockages and install new, empowering beliefs. It sounds strange, but the research is undeniable. These methods work because they speak the language of the subconscious: sensation, emotion, and pattern. EFT, for example, involves tapping on acupressure points while verbally acknowledging the limiting belief and then replacing it with a new belief. The tapping sends calming signals to the amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for the fear response, while the verbal statements reprogram the neural pathways. Psych-K uses muscle testing and bilateral brain integration to communicate directly with the subconscious and install new beliefs. Both techniques have been shown to produce rapid, lasting changes in people's lives. Method 4. Embodiment and action. Your subconscious also learns through experience. So one of the fastest ways to reprogram it is to take action that aligns with the identity you want to embody. If you want to be confident, act confidently, even if you don't feel it yet. If you want to be abundant, practice generosity. If you want to be loved, practice self-love. Over time, your subconscious begins to accept this new identity as true. And once it does, the quantum field responds by bringing you experiences that match that identity. This is what's called acting as if. You're not pretending or being fake. You're consciously choosing to embody the energy of the person you're becoming. And the more you do this, the more your subconscious rewires itself to support that identity. Here's a powerful exercise. Choose one quality you want to embody: confidence, abundance, love, peace, whatever resonates with you. Then ask yourself, how would the version of me who already has this quality show up today? And then act accordingly. Make decisions from that place. Speak from that place. Move through the world from that place. Method 5. Pattern, interruption, and awareness. This is perhaps the most foundational method of all. You can't change what you're not aware of. So the first step in reprogramming your subconscious is to become conscious of the patterns that are running. Start paying attention to your thoughts, especially the automatic ones. Notice when you're operating from fear, from lack, from limitation. Notice when you're telling yourself stories that aren't serving you. The moment you notice a limiting thought or pattern, interrupt it. You can do this physically. Snap your fingers, clap your hands, stand up, or verbally say, cancel, stop, or delete. Then consciously choose a new thought, a new response, a new pattern. This interruption creates a gap in the automatic programming, and in that gap, you have the power to choose differently. Do this consistently, and over time, the old patterns lose their power and new ones take root. Now, here's something critical you need to understand. The moment you start reprogramming your subconscious, the moment you start aligning with the quantum field, the universe will test you, not because it's cruel, not because it wants you to fail, but because it needs to make sure you're serious. It needs to know that your new frequency is stable, not just a temporary spike. This is where most people give up. They start visualizing abundance, and then they get a bill they weren't expecting. They start affirming love, and then a relationship ends. They start embodying confidence, and then they face rejection. And they think, see, this stuff doesn't work. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is the universe is clearing out everything that's not aligned with your new frequency. It's bringing up the old patterns, the old fears, the old programs, so that you can release them once and for all. Think of it like cleaning out a closet. Before your closet can be organized and beautiful, you have to pull everything out and confront the mess. It looks worse before it looks better. That's what's happening in your life. The challenges you face after you start this work aren't evidence that it's not working. They're evidence that it is working. The field is reorganizing itself around your new signal. And anything that doesn't match that signal has to go. But here's the key. You have to hold your frequency. You have to stay committed to your new beliefs, your new identity, your new vibration, even when external circumstances seem to contradict it. Because the moment you doubt, the moment you fall back into fear or lack, you send a mixed signal into the field. And a mixed signal creates mixed results. This is why certainty is so important. Not hope. Not wishful thinking. Certainty. The kind of certainty that doesn't waver, even when the evidence hasn't shown up yet. When you hold that level of certainty, the quantum field has no choice but to respond. Let me share a concept that will help you understand this better. It's called the manifestation gap. The manifestation gap is the space of time between when you plant the seed, set the intention, reprogram the belief, and when you see the harvest, the physical manifestation in your reality. During this gap, nothing visible seems to be happening. And this is when doubt creeps in. But here's what's actually happening during the gap. The quantum field is reorganizing. Energy is shifting. Circumstances are aligning. People are being moved into position. Opportunities are being prepared. All of this is happening in the invisible realm, in the quantum field, before it shows up in physical reality. Think of it like ordering something online. The moment you place the order and receive the confirmation, you don't doubt that it's coming, even though you can't see it yet. You know it's in transit. You know it's on its way. That's how you need to approach your manifestations. Once you've set the intention, once you've aligned your subconscious with your desire, once you've entered the feeling state, trust that it's already in motion. Don't keep checking the tracking number every 5 minutes. Don't keep looking for evidence. Just trust. Hold the frequency and allow the field to deliver. Now, let's zoom out for a moment and look at the bigger picture, because what we're really talking about here is something that ancient spiritual traditions have known for thousands of years. In yoga, they call it prana, the life force energy that flows through all living things. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's called qi. In Hawaiian culture, it's called mana. Different names, same concept. There is an invisible energy that animates everything. And modern quantum physics is now confirming what these traditions always knew. Everything is energy. Everything is vibration. Everything is connected. Even physicists like Erwin Schrödinger, one of the founders of quantum mechanics, said, "The total number of minds in the universe is one." He believed that all consciousness is interconnected, that separation is an illusion created by the limitations of our sensory perception. And Roger Penrose has suggested that consciousness isn't something the brain produces, but something it receives, like a radio tuning into a signal. If that's true, then your thoughts aren't isolated events happening inside your skull. They're ripples in a universal field of consciousness. This is the bridge between science and spirituality. It's not that one is right and the other is wrong. It's that they're describing the same reality from different perspectives. And when you understand this, when you truly grasp that you are not separate from the field, that you are a localized expression of infinite intelligence, everything changes. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance. You stop waiting for permission from the outside world. You stop believing that you're limited by your past, your genetics, your environment, because you realize that you are the field. You are the energy. You are the consciousness that is creating your experience. And your subconscious? It's the tool you use to direct that energy. Now, let me take you even deeper into this fusion of ancient wisdom and modern science. The ancient Hermetic principle states, "As above, so below. As within, so without." This principle suggests that the macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm, you, are reflections of each other. What happens in the larger universe is reflected in your personal experience, and vice versa. Quantum physics echoes this with the concept of holographic universe theory, proposed by physicist David Bohm. He suggested that the universe operates like a hologram, where every part contains information about the whole. This means that you, as a part of the universe, contain the entire universe within you. You are not separate from creation. You are a fractal expression of it. Buddhist philosophy teaches the concept of Indra's net, an infinite net that stretches across the universe with a jewel at each node. Each jewel reflects all the other jewels, and changes in one jewel create ripples throughout the entire net. This is quantum entanglement described 500 years ago. The mystics knew. The physicists are confirming. And now, you're learning how to work with this fundamental truth. When you change your internal state, when you reprogram your subconscious, you're not just changing yourself, you're sending ripples through the entire net. You're affecting the quantum field in ways you can't even comprehend. This is why your transformation matters, not just for you, but for everyone and everything connected to you. So here's the ultimate secret, the final piece of the puzzle that ties everything together. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to hustle harder, push more, or make it happen through sheer willpower. Because the quantum field doesn't respond to force. It responds to resonance. When you align your subconscious with the frequency of what you desire, when you remove the internal resistance and the limiting beliefs, the field naturally brings you what you're entangled with. This is what surrender really means. It doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean being passive. It means trusting that once you've done the inner work, once you've reprogrammed your subconscious and aligned with your true desires, the universe will handle the how, the when, and the where. Your job is to hold the vision, to stay in the feeling, to embody the frequency, and the field will do the rest. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine that beneath all the noise, all the doubt, all the fear, there's a reservoir of energy inside you that's been waiting your entire life to be activated. This energy is pure potential. It's creative power in its rawest form. And the only thing standing between you and that energy is a thin layer of subconscious programming. But now you know how to dissolve that layer. Now you know that you're not separate from the quantum field, that your thoughts and emotions are constantly shaping your reality, and that your subconscious is the key to unlocking your hidden energy. So the question is no longer, can I do this? The question is, am I ready? Are you ready to let go of the old stories? Are you ready to reprogram the beliefs that had been running your life on autopilot? Are you ready to step into alignment with the infinite field of possibility and become the conscious creator of your reality? Because once you make that decision, once you commit to mastering the relationship between your subconscious and the quantum field, there's no going back. Your reality will begin to shift. Opportunities will appear. Synchronicities will multiply. Doors will open that you didn't even know existed. And you'll realize that the power was inside you all along. You were never separate. You were never broken. You were never lacking. You were just entangled with the wrong frequency. And now, you're ready to change the signal. Let me tell you what happens next after you make this shift. First, you'll notice small things. A sense of inner peace that wasn't there before. Coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. People responding to you differently, even though you haven't changed anything external. Then, the shifts become more obvious. Opportunities start showing up. Resources appear. The right people enter your life at exactly the right time. Problems that seemed insurmountable suddenly have solutions. And eventually, you reach a point where you realize you're living in a completely different reality than you were before. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. Your frequency shifted. Your subconscious aligned. Your hidden energy activated. And the quantum field responded. This is your birthright. This is what you were always meant to experience. Not struggle. Not limitation. Not separation, but flow, but abundance, but connection. You are a powerful creator. You always have been. You just forgot. And this video, this is your reminder. If this message resonated with you, if you felt something shift inside you while watching this, then I want you to do something right now. Type in the comments below, I'm ready to unlock my hidden energy. Say it out loud if you can. Write it down. Let the universe know that you're making a commitment. Because when you declare your intention, when you speak it into existence, you send a powerful signal into the quantum field. You activate the entanglement between your inner world and your outer reality. And I promise you, the moment you do this with true conviction, things will start to change. But I want to go further with you. I want to give you some practical next steps you can take immediately after watching this video. Step 1. Identify your dominant frequency. Take out a piece of paper right now. Write down the 3 beliefs that have been running your life. Be honest. What do you really believe about yourself, about money, about relationships, about your potential? Don't write what you wish you believed. Write what you actually believe deep down. This is your starting point. This is the frequency you've been broadcasting. Step 2. Choose your new frequency. Now, on that same piece of paper, write down the 3 beliefs you want to install. What would the version of you who's already living your dream life believe? What frequency would they be broadcasting? Write these in present tense, as if they're already true. I am worthy of unlimited abundance. Love flows to me naturally. I am a powerful creator. Step 3. Bridge the gap. Here's the key. You can't just jump from one belief to another overnight. Your subconscious won't accept it. So, you need to create bridge beliefs. Statements that feel believable right now, but move you in the right direction. For example, if you currently believe, I'm always broke, you can't jump straight to, I'm a millionaire. Your subconscious will reject it. Instead, try, I'm learning to manage money better. Then, money is starting to flow to me more easily. Then eventually, I attract abundance effortlessly. Step 4. Daily reprogramming practice. Commit to 15 minutes every morning for the next 30 days. Spend 5 minutes in meditation, entering a relaxed theta state. Then spend 10 minutes visualizing your desired reality with intense emotion while repeating your new beliefs. Do this consistently, without missing a day, and watch what happens. Also, if you want to go deeper into these concepts, if you want to learn more techniques for reprogramming your subconscious and aligning with the quantum field, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, because we're just getting started. In the coming videos, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify and release the specific limiting beliefs that are blocking your energy. I'm going to teach you advanced visualization techniques that collapse quantum possibilities into physical reality. And I'm going to share stories and examples of people who've mastered these principles and completely transformed their lives. I'm also going to dive deeper into specific topics like how to use quantum jumping to access parallel realities where you've already achieved your goals, the neuroscience of manifestation, and how to rewire your brain for success. Ancient practices like breathwork and sound healing that directly influence your energetic frequency. How to recognize and interpret the synchronicities that confirm you're on the right path. And the dark night of the soul. What to do when everything falls apart during your transformation. But it all starts here. It all starts with you making the decision to awaken to who you truly are. You are not small. You are not powerless. You are not separate. You are an infinite being, temporarily experiencing limitation. And it's time to remember one more thing before we close. I want you to understand that this journey isn't always easy. There will be moments of doubt. There will be times when you want to give up, when you question whether any of this is real. In those moments, come back to this video. Come back to this community. Read through the comments of others who are on this journey with you. Because you're not alone. There are thousands, millions of people around the world who are waking up to these truths, who are learning to master their subconscious and align with the quantum field. And together, we're creating a shift in collective consciousness. We're changing the frequency of the planet itself. Your transformation matters, not just for you, but for all of us. So make the commitment, do the work, trust the process, and watch as the universe conspires to support you in ways you never imagined possible. Type, "I'm ready to unlock my hidden energy" in the comments below. Let's activate this together. Let's change the signal. Let's unlock the hidden energy that's been waiting inside you all along. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being open. Thank you for being ready. I'll see you in the next video where we'll take this journey even deeper. Until then, remember, you are quantum. You are entangled. You are infinite. And your hidden energy is ready to be unleashed.